Mike, last year, NHL had, you would think, a devastating lockout canceled more than 40% of games. How did the season go last year from a financial standpoint?
Kurt, the NHL rocked last season. Television viewership on NBC was up on average 18%. If you talk about operating income, the average team had operating income of $7 million last season. Yes, 11 teams had an operating loss, but it was one of the better years for the NHL, and I think this year is going to be even better. We're on the verge of a new Canadian national TV deal with CBC. I think that could double the current $100 million a year that network is paying the league. So I think the NHL is in great shape right now.
Well, it's incredible. The fans came back last year. You saw all these people say, I'm not coming back. I'm not giving the NHL a dime. Yet attendance was up last year. Teams hiked ticket prices 6% last year. So, at the end of the day, despite 42% of regular season games being canceled, the NHL still brought in 75% of revenues that they did from the previous full regular season.
Yeah, there are pockets of trouble. The Florida teams are still struggling. St. Louis is struggling to make money. Minnesota's losing money. But overall, the league is doing better. And the CBA, the new collective bargaining agreement that lowered the salary cap, that's helping the teams as well. And, right now, look, the proof is in what are people willing to pay, right? So you had the New Jersey Devils. They sold for $320 million a few months ago. That team almost never makes money. The Florida Panthers, they lose a lot of money every year. They sold for $240 million. So in a way, the league has benefited from, this sort of interest from private equity funds and hedge funds, all this Wall Street money, that we saw help prop up the value of the Dodgers when they were sold.
Right.
So, that's even impacting the NHL. And the Vancouver Canucks, right? Their owner got a divorce a couple months ago. That franchise plus the value of the arena and the real estate was valued at well over $700 million. So the NHL values are rising rapidly despite the lockout, and I think they're going to continue to go up.
How important are the Canadian franchises to the NHL?
It's huge. Kurt, we need more teams in Canada. Look at the Blues, right? St. Louis, right, and the Winnipeg Jets. They moved from Atlanta. Both teams were sold at roughly the same time about a year and a half ago. The Blues sold for $180. The Winnipeg Jets sold for $170 if you count the $60 million relocation fee. Fast forward to today, Winnipeg, which is selling out every game, has the second highest ticket price in the league, is worth $155 million more than the Blues. I think we got to get some of these weak NHL teams out of the Sun Belt and over into Canada. Let's get a team in Quebec. Let's start with that.
Right. Now, we've seen TV rights deals explode on the local level and national level. Are NHL teams part of this? Are they succeeding with this?
Yeah, again, not across the board. The strong Canadian markets and some of the, traditional Northeast U.S. markets are definitely benefiting. The Canadians, they're going to get the Montreal Canadiens, about $30 million this year from RDS. That's the French language channel that broadcasts their games locally. I think that deal expires after this season. I think the next deal, which begins with the 2014-15 year, is going to be worth at least twice as much. And the Blackhawks, which still have time to go on their current deal, they're in renegotiations right now. And of course, they're one of the hottest teams in the league. They won the Cup last year. Really, really strong fan following there in Chicago. I think they're going to see a big increase as well. And we got to talk about my favorite, which is going to impact the whole league. Outdoor hockey. I know you're not big on that as big as me. A lot of people talking about dilution, but the Winter Classic, I've been saying for years, is one of the best new brands in sports. The league's going with 6 games this year, 2 at Yankee Stadium, a lot of local rivalries. I think it's going to be big for the league. Typically, they have very high ratings on television. Are you with me on this, or are you pessimistic?
Mike, I love the Winter Classic. I agree. One of the best things the NHL has done in recent years. But, to me, it feels a little bit like interleague play in Major League Baseball. Great. Love to have a taste of it. Now, this year, you saw interleague play in baseball all season long with the 15 teams in each league. Really felt diluted. I wonder, love the idea of a game in Yankee Stadium, and I think the process will be a home run this year. But I worry about next year. And are we going to do 6 games? And then are we going to go to 10? And then are we going to do 15? And then are we going to regularly play outdoor? And then they lose the cachet and the significance of that singular event. So I think it'll be great this year, but I worry in 3, 4, 5 years if it still is a big moneymaker for the NHL.
On that downer, I'm sending you to the penalty box.